You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Network supporters, let's talk about the New York Jets, because the New York Jets got themselves a very big victory yesterday. And Robert Saleh let the league know that the Jets made it through a gauntlet of a schedule and that they embarrassed all the quarterbacks they played. Now, I'm going to be the first to bring up Dak Prescott. It seemed like that was a pretty good game for the Cowboys. I think it was a 30-10 victory, if I remember correctly. Nonetheless, there was talk prior to the season, something we talked about when we looked at the schedule, that if the Jets could come out of this stretch 3-3, they'd be looking very good. And the one thing we also talked about is that was with Aaron Rodgers. Instead, this is Zach Wilson, and they came out 3-3 anyway, which is very interesting. Very interesting, and when you look at the schedule, you see some lanes. You see some potential for the Jets to, in theory, provided that their running game, their defense continues to be really damn good. I thought going into that game yesterday, they had a shot to win, being that the game was in New York. So we'll take a look at that. And Aaron Rodgers shocked everybody yesterday. We know there's been talk where he said he would be back for the playoffs. And there was a little indication yesterday that maybe that's not as far-fetched as anybody believes that it could be. Let's get to Robert Saleh. I think he's taking some heat this morning over these comments. Look, Robert Saleh is one of these defensive guys. He's kind of one of these fired-up guys, the way Rex Ryan used to be. And I really don't have any issues with him. I don't know what he necessarily means by embarrassed. I don't know why he chose that wording. You played a rough stretch of games, but you came out the other side. And for that, I just think you have to be like, look, in a vacuum, you had Aaron Rodgers run out with the American flag, which was a fantastic moment, one of the best moments I've seen in years, maybe the best moment I've seen in years in the NFL. You lost him 4 plays into the season, and somehow, some way, 6 games later, you're 3-3. That's something to be proud of and feel good about if you're a Jets fan. Let's get to this. This is Michael David Smith at PFT. Robert Saleh was thrilled with the way his defense shut down the Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts on Sunday, and with the way his defense has played against every quarterback he's faced this season. Saleh praised his defense after Sunday's win and said every quarterback who plays the Jets gets embarrassed. Okay. Quote, our defense, per usual, outstanding. Through these first 6 weeks, we played a gauntlet of quarterbacks. I know we haven't gotten all wins, but we've embarrassed all of them. Just really, really proud of the defense and its resolve. I thought Brick and his staff had an excellent game plan. Down 3 corners, 4 of our 6 corners, I thought our D-line was good in terms of keeping him in the pocket. He's a handful. Hurts, their O-line, their receivers, but our guys battled all the way through. Look, if I'm the 49ers, knowing that the Eagles may very well be your NFC Championship opponent, I'm probably looking at this Jets film. I guarantee you when the time comes. So far this season, the Jets have faced Josh Allen, Dak Prescott, Mac Jones, yikes, Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, yikes, and Hurts. Against that group of quarterbacks, they have yet to give up a 300-yard passing game. That's pretty impressive. And they've grabbed 8 interceptions. To say the Jets embarrassed all of them might be a bit of an overstatement. Prescott probably didn't feel embarrassed by a Cowboys 30-10 win, but the Jets defense has played very well. They got Jeff Ulbrich up there, former Niner. You guys know I'm a Niners guy. And he's a very damn good defensive coordinator. He really is. And he's got those guys absolutely fired up. Now, you made it through this stretch. All right, here's the Jets schedule. And don't worry, we're getting Aaron Rodgers. But your Jets schedule, look, the Giants game is a winnable game. The Chargers, who knows? They're a wild card. One week they could throw up 40. The next week, Brandon Staley could shit the bed and they could score 10 points and lose. The Raiders game, winnable game. The Bills, I don't know. Dolphins, I kind of doubt it. Falcons, winnable game. Texans, could go either way. The Texans are much better than anybody thought they would be. Somehow, some way, they got a rookie quarterback that they absolutely hit a home run on. So, but it's winnable. It's winnable. Dolphins, probably not. Commanders, winnable. Browns, look, the Browns have got a great defense too, and they proved it against the Niners, and we'll probably talk about that in a later video today. But, yeah, that's a winnable game, you got to say. And then the Patriots, well, they're a dumpster fire rolling downhill on a tire fire right now. So that's a winnable game. Point is, before I started this video, I got to looking. In theory, there's a 10-7 season here for the Jets. That is a thing. A 10-7 season, and 10-7 is likely getting you into the playoffs. So, Aaron Rodgers sort of shocked everybody yesterday by getting rid of the crutches and throwing the football before the game. This is a big deal. Only 4+ weeks removed from surgery for a torn Achilles, Jets quarterback surprised onlookers by throwing for 5 minutes during pregame warmups before his team faced the Eagles on Sunday at MetLife Stadium. Rodgers, 39, injured in the season opener September 11th, arrived at the stadium with no sign of crutches. He didn't even have the crutches with him, folks. That's wild. About 2 hours before kickoff, he threw on the field to a Jeff Stafford, later tossing a few to star cornerback Sauce Gardner, who was ruled out of Sunday's game with a concussion. 4-time MVP was stationary while throwing, but he was stepping into each pass, putting weight on his surgically repaired left Achilles. He was about 15 yards away from his target. And, I mean, Rodgers got a historically strong gun, so that's something to think about. Let's see it. There he is right there, throwing the ball around. Throwing the ball around. And I'm just going to touch on the Kirk Cousins thing while we're watching this, because I know a lot of Jets fans and even some in the media have been calling for the Kirk Cousins deal. What do you do with that, though? You know, the thing about it is, I don't think you could trade for another quarterback. You could sign a free agent quarterback. Like, they could have signed Carson Wentz, and nobody's going to be like, oh, Aaron Rodgers is coming back, so Carson Wentz has got to sit. But if you trade collateral for Kirk Cousins or somebody, then you've got two quarterbacks that both believe they're capable of starting, and I would assume Kirk Cousins, even though he's no Aaron Rodgers, he probably thinks at 34 he's as good as a 39-year-old Rodgers who just had an Achilles tear that got healed up. Point is, it would have been really hard to have benched a legit starting quarterback in the NFL versus some backup you signed off the street, even a Carson Wentz. So I never did really think that going for Kirk Cousins was going to happen, because once Rodgers is healthy, what are you going to do? Tell Aaron Rodgers you're not going in? What happens if you get Kirk Cousins? You go 7-2, whatever. You get the point. All of a sudden, you've got a mess on your hands, and with the media up there, my God, good luck. This sets up, by looking at the schedule, you've got winnable games. Now, those winnable games are still, in the current setting, toss-up games, but they're winnable. And there's a path to 10-7, and you got your future Hall of Fame quarterback who is throwing footballs right now and not using crutches to walk. And we're looking at a lot of weeks. I mean, just looking at this schedule very quickly, I will 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 weeks. So actually, before the first playoff game, you are 12 weeks away yesterday. 3 months. There's a chance here, folks. There's a chance. I mean, that's what? About almost 5 months removed from the actual tear. We'll have to see. Could be a minor miracle, but nonetheless, man, the Jets held on. And I don't have a problem with Saleh's comments. He's one of these rah-rah, fired-up defensive coaches. You know, completely accurate? Probably not. You also got yourself a Russell Wilson and a Mac Jones in there. Both of them dumpster fires right now. But look, everybody needs a dumpster fire, all right, in their schedule to help right their ships. It just is what it is. Good teams destroy bad quarterbacks on defense. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.